I'm ready.
Welcome to the Bouts. Thank you for listening. I'm your guest, Harlan Jones. I'm here with my co-host, P, otherwise known as Pablo. Call him P, out of love out here. and the Magic Man.
Hey, what up? What up? How you guys doing?
I'm good. Waiting to get this show started. A lot of good stuff to talk about.
So, fellas, we've had some really good bouts over the last couple of weekends. Let's dive in. Why don't we start with what do you guys thought about that Kovalev versus Alvarez too?
Man, pickups to Kovalev. I never seen him any better. He looked phenomenal. Did a fantastic job. Regained his title with class. I never seen him better. He looked really good. And what's surprising was that one of the commentators was actually Andre Ward. And Andre Ward was giving him props on certain techniques and things that he has improved. So I hope Kovalev keeps it up. He looks like a brand new fighter to me, man. He really did a good job against Alvarez. Pick up to Kovalev.
Yeah, I agree. I saw the fight, and I thought he boxed him. He outboxed him the whole night. He wasn't looking for the knockout. He listened to Buddy McGirt, which you got to give him props, because Buddy McGirt gives good instructions, and he followed them to a T. He didn't go crazy. He wasn't looking for no knockout. If it came, because he does have the power to knock you out, but he boxed him, and and he circled around him. He did everything that Buddy McGirt asked him to do, and that's why he was successful.
Yeah, I think his loss definitely humbled him, and it caused him to begin to listen to his trainers. You know, we remember the strife that he had with his previous trainer. What was his last name? Jackson?
John David Jackson.
John David Jackson. We remember the strife that he had where he, it was a bit of a ego trip, and Kovalev would say that he was the head of the show. He was the one doing all the work. And I would think to myself, well, what's the point of having a trainer? What's the point of having a coach? Is supposed to have that outside perspective, that tactical.
I heard this exactly. I heard the same thing, but I heard that he had a tendency of blaming everyone else except himself. And that last Alvarez fight, their first fight, who knows if he had a lot on his mind, because he had that pending assault. So who knows if that messed up his concentration. But I think he collected himself really well. He got the right person. I think Buddy McGirt is a great trainer again. And I think he'll find success, because Kovalev is a good boxer. He's a good boxer with power, and anybody in the light heavyweight division should be afraid. Especially now, if he listens to Buddy McGirt, he's going to be a problem.
He definitely earned his reputation as a boogeyman. Kovalev has, and it's well deserved. But he can also fight. He can also box, and that's what we needed him to really show. That was part of the showcase that he needed to demonstrate. And he definitely pulled that off.
Yeah. Well, he had complained about stamina problems in previous fights, and he rarely would hit the 12-round mark. But now,
because he was overtraining.
Right, he was overtraining. Now he got his stamina right, and all through the 12th round, I think he won every round there was. So yeah,
pretty much.
Now, to turn the page, I wanted to ask, Marcos Maidana has just announced that he wants to come out of retirement.
Lord!
I wonder why. Why?
He already signed. He already signed a 3-fight deal with PBC, so he's already in the game. Because he knows there's money to be made there. He knows
there is money to be made. And I did notice that the article.
He gambled his Mayweather chips away, and that's why he's coming back. I wonder if that's what happened. And he ballooned up. I mean, I'm talking like maybe 100 pounds. I mean, the guy was just living large, like Biggie Smalls. And yeah, I think he gambled away his chips, and
because he
you know,
knows,
he
because he
dusted
knows
off
with
the
PBC there's a lot of money to be made. Yo, there's a lot of fights out there, yo. There's a lot
And
of
he's
fights
still
out there.
relatively
yeah.
young too. Like he
It
can
just
still
took him
squeeze
5
out another.
years. Just took him 5 years to realize that he wants to come back in the game. I don't know, man. Wait, pickups to him. I hope he makes it. But it's risky. It's
It'll be
risky with the
interesting.
competition we have now.
It sure
And he's
is. It's a
35
tough
years of
name.
age. 35.
Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood, that welterweight class. So
Yeah,
we'll
but he
see
don't
if
care.
he
He's
can
gonna
pull it off.
he don't care about it. He's
a
warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Moving on.
Yeah. We wish him the best of luck with today's pedigree. Yeah. Let's move on.
So
and
can we talk
go
about
ahead.
this boy Teofimo Lopez? Can we talk about the
man.
devastation? He calls it the takeover, but I call it the devastation when he was in there with Diego Magdaleno.
I call it an assault.
Call the cops.
Yo, he's
Wow.
yo. Literally, when you see his bouts, man, he's literally
He's lightning.
destroying dudes. He's just destroying dudes, yo. It looks like assault. It's bad, yo. It's bad. The way he's taking care of these dudes, it's like, yo, this dude is on another level almost.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
must
like
admit,
he's
one
eating
little
on the
thing. One of the things that I did not like about Lopez was his sportsmanship. Once he ended the fight,
Yeah.
I mean, he beat the guy really bad. The guy could have been on a concussion, and he's here doing backflips and teeing, making a golf gesture. I mean, it could.
Yeah,
be
that
you
the grave thing was a bad gesture. The flip is what he does. He does it for every fight, so I'm not mad at that.
No.
But the digging the
it was
grave
some
and
show.
stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of that is showmanship, and they did hug it out after he got it back. After Magdaleno got back on his feet.
His team wanted to go after that dude. Yeah.
But that's not his fault. All Lopez did was show up to fight.
But you know what it was, and I'll keep it short. It was, the guy who he fought, Magdaleno. He was in his face in one of those rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like the end of one of those rounds, he was in his face. Yelling and all
he
that
was
other
popping
stuff. And
off.
I'm pretty sure
It's adrenaline.
I'm pretty sure.
Slapping at the
I'm
gums.
pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That fired Teofimo up, and then he continued to his assault. And
He's calling it assault.
Wow. I mean, the guy could have been a concussion, man.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yo,
Yeah.
how many dudes get hit with two? And it wasn't like pa, it was pa.
Yeah,
Well,
it was.
The guy,
Yeah, I remember.
he must
You're
have been
actually being
stunned.
conservative.
Obviously, he
remember
was stunned by the
3-hit
first
combination.
hit. Yeah, he was stunned by the first hit, and by the time he got himself together, the second hit came and hit him again. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those.
It was bad. But
It's
hey,
fast too.
that guy is gonna be on more bouts. And speaking of announcements, I'm pretty sure just real quick, and this goes back to hopefully Teofimo. Crawford and Amir Khan are fighting at Madison Square Garden April 20th. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him on that card.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
you're probably right. I hope they put him against the one everyone's wondering. Why don't we do a matchup between him and Lomachenko?
That won't happen. That won't happen now. That won't happen now.
But it'll be a great matchup.
Definitely.
It sure would.
It looks like he's the young Lomachenko. He just came out of nowhere, and it's just blowing people out in his division, just like Lomachenko. And I think it'll be a great fight. Like you said, it'll probably be in the future. It won't be now, but it's in people's minds.
Yeah, I mean, let's leave that for our future segment, because that there we can go in. I don't want to go in right now because I know that segment is coming up.
I just wanted to say for a quick sec that there was definitely some bad reffing going on when it comes to watching this fight on behalf of Diego Magdaleno. Like, that fight should have been stopped, maybe 2 or 3 rounds before he had actually gotten knocked out.
Well, that was his corner.
His corner's to blame too, actually.
Oh, yeah, both of them are at fault.
There's got to be some accountability there. There's got to be some accountability.
Both of them are at fault. Both of them are at fault.
And And along those same lines, it was similar kind of bad reffing that we saw in the Valdez Tomazon fight.
Excellent fight. It was a slugfest between both of them. They had knocked each other down. I think Valdez went down on the third round. Then Tomazon went down on the fourth. Excellent bout. But
was that the fight that you just sent me?
Yes. By the seventh round, Valdez knocked Tomazon down, and instead of the ref making the 10 count, even though the guy was conscious and ready to go, he just waved it off. And the ref's name was Mark Nelson. Bad ref. Really, we really.
You want to give him his address too? You want to give the fans the address too?
Yeah, no. If I could, I would.
And it's social.
Because he costs a lot of people money. The Mark Nelson, you have to realize that the ref has a lot of power, man.
No, but let's see. I'll say this. I watched the fight. I'm talking about they were throwing like really hard punches at each other all throughout the fight. I'm pretty sure it's hard to from my point of view, it didn't look like it was too fast. It didn't look like it. It didn't look like it was too fast. He just caught because he caught him. Yeah, you're right. He caught him. He should have given him a 10 count just to see where he was at. You're right about that. He should have given him a 10 count. But at the same time, he caught him with a really hard uppercut. Was it an uppercut?
No, it was a body shot.
No, it was a body shot.
Left.
Right.
It
was that
body.
Yeah, it was that Kodo hook. It was that Kodo
the seventh
double
round,
hook to
it was
the
a
body
shot. They knocked him down, and Mark Nelson just waved it off. I felt like getting in the ring and and beating up Nelson for that. Mark Nelson, shame on you. I'll be real.
I'm watching the fight right now.
Yeah,
I'm watching the fight right now.
Another one I want to just give a quick props to Comey versus Chavniev. Comey did an excellent job. I expect to see better fights from him in the future. He definitely did a good job. I just wanted to mention that really briefly.
It was a right uppercut. It was a right uppercut. Watch it again.
It was a right uppercut to the but still,
yeah.
And
he felt limp. He felt limp.
And that's fine. But also, I want to mention that there were a couple of rounds where Valdez was swinging that tomato can, and Tomazon was doing a really good job of ducking under and weaving under, and was active and making a miss. And he wasn't as he was still, I think it felt like throughout the fight, he was still developing his timing. And I felt like he was getting close to pulling Valdez's number and potentially countering with a knockout punch, because he was game the entire fight.
Yeah.
Even though he was absorbing a lot of those body shots.
Valdez was just quicker to the punch. That was it. Quicker to the draw.
Let me say this, and I want you guys to answer this. Does this fight remind you, like, I wouldn't mind a part 2 of that fight?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no!
It reminds you of a Ward Gotti type fight.
Throwback.
Of course.
Throwback.
These guys, yeah, going at it. Yeah.
Right in the front.
You want to see that fight?
Booth. Yes.
Yeah.
Phone
No
booth
one's
fight.
Because they're not going to make no money fighting anybody else.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you're right. But they were toe to toe. They never ran, and they were just slugging it out to see who's gonna endure more.
Yeah.
And also to be fair, there was some boxing in the pocket. These guys would stay in the pocket, and there was some intelligent. There was some IQ moves. There were some intelligent moves going on the inside. It wasn't just stand there and hit and get hit. It was some. I saw some bobbing and weaving, and it was really intelligent and some really good timing. Yeah, I'd love to see.
But certainly the what's the guy's name that won?
What, the
Valdez?
Mark Nelson.
Valdez, he certainly looked like the better, more seasoned, more technically sound fighter.
Yes, he did. He started off a little rusty in the first few rounds, but then he got his groove, and he took over the fight. So that was, that's one fight there that I had a little problem with the refereeing there, but I wouldn't mind seeing a part 2 to that.
Hopefully they do it. So
the next fight would be Mario Barrio and Richard Zamora. That was a good fight. Mario,
at what weight?
huh?
At what weight class? What weight class?
Welterweight. They were welterweight.
Okay.
Welterweight. It was a very good fight. Barrio looked spectacular, spectacular. Richard Zamora did a good job, but unfortunately, Barrio was just a little bit too much for him. Once again,
Barrio a younger guy? Is he
Yeah,
like
a
an up
little
and
bit.
coming guy?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is. He's an up and
Okay.
comer.
he's
Yeah.
being
Okay.
Once again,
being
bad
groomed.
ref stopped the fight too early. Ray Corona was the referee for that fight. Definitely stopped the fight even though Zamora was in a bit of a jam in the fourth round, Zamora still was swinging. He was still on his feet. And the ref just decided, you know what? Let me just jump in there and stop this fight. Once again, we gotta do something.
Being that we're on the subject of refs, let's just get into it. How important is it? How important is the job of the referee in the ring? I can see it from my point of view. I can see, because it's been more like, if I stop it too early, people gonna go crazy. If I stop it too late, people could die, or people can, things can get really bad.
Right. If the opponent is still on his feet, he's wobbly, but he's still on his feet. He's still swinging away. I think you can let the fight go on. Now if the guy looks like he's really standing up, but he's unconscious, and the hands are down, and there's really no motion, yeah, then you go to the guy's defense and you stop the fight.
Rule? I'll ask you this: should the rule for when a fighter goes down that an automatic count starts?
Absolutely.
He has to count. He has to count. He cannot waive the fight. If a fighter goes down, he has to count. From there, he can determine whether or not the fighter can continue or not.
Well, at least give a 5 count.
At least give him. I think a 3 count should be the minimum. Because if he's knocked out and he's clearly knocked out, you could say, all right, well, at least I gave you the 3 to wake up. But if you're not even showing me that, then we have nothing to go on.
Yeah.
Fellas, let me tell you this. You're a boxer training for months on end. You get in that ring to give it your all. Everyone deserves that second shot, or at least that little window. Everyone deserves that and earns that. You just don't wave a fight like that. Yes, maybe you can get rocked. Agree. Maybe you didn't see a punch here and there, but give the guy a second chance to at least get his wing,
or at least to give up.
Right, because it's months and months of grueling training to get to that moment, and then have a ref just go over and wave it off. That's devastating.
Speaking to that case, okay. Now, a couple of things that I want to mention about Richard Zamora. Number one is that he was also a last-minute replacement. I forgot the exact details.
That is correct.
I don't remember that much.
2 weeks.
That's number one.
Right.
Number two, the fight was stopped in the 4th round, but if you've seen it, you notice that he actually dominated the 3rd round. He began to step on the gas and demonstrate that he is game, and that he was maybe, not necessarily that he was going to win all. I think it was 10. I think it was a 10 round.
It was a 10 rounder.
Okay,
correct.
So
it was a 10
not to say that he was going to win the entire fight, but at least that he was game, and that he had something to give Mario Barrio something to think about, something to give the boy to think about.
Once again, the referee's name was Ray Corona. Ray Corona, shame on you. Shame on you. And, I think Ray Corona, that referee, and Mark Nelson should get together, and they should have refereed the other fight, which was called Fortuna. What is it? Fortuna's fight?
Fortuna.
That's another segment. That's another segment. Yeah,
that was a bad fight. Now, you want to stop a fight? You stop a fight like that. That's a bad fight. It was bad on our eyes. It was bad on the fans.
That's the next segment. That's the next segment.
Yeah. Okay. They want to fight that fight. They can stop that
one. One last thing before we move on.
Oh, Skip Bayless.
Yes, Skip Bayless. Yo, that's part of Mayweather's team. Yeah, I know you love. I know, but what do you think of Skip Bayless?
Listen here, man. Skip Bayless. If Mayweather even sneezes the wrong way, he would stop the fight and look at Mayweather and say, "Are you okay? Are you all right? I heard you sneeze." Are you okay? You good to go? Like, listen, Skip. Listen, there's a time when Mayweather has touched. When Mayweather was fighting Zab Judah, and in the second round, Zab Judah hit him with a right and caused Mayweather to put his glove on the canvas. Skip Bayless didn't even call that a knockdown. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
protects his boy. He protects his golden boy. I said it here, and I'm gonna say it again. Skip Bayless protects Mayweather, and that's why Skip Bayless, every fight, he's always there. He's always ordered by Mayweather Productions to referee the fight. Okay, and I said
Guys,
it here.
Skip
And if you got
Skip
problems with
Bayless.
it, I'm here. Come get me. But that's the
Skip
truth.
Bayless is a sports columnist. Not, I think you mean Kenny. I think you mean
Is that Skip
Kenny.
Bayless?
I think you
Kenny Bayless.
I think you mean Kenny Bayless. You got to get this right,
Oh,
guys.
Kenny Bayless. It's not even Kenny Bayless. It was Kenny Bayless. I'm sorry. I call him Skip Bayless because he never skips a fight. Anyway, a Mayweather fight.
Out of control.
All right, I said it here. Come get me. All right, I'm nothing to lose.
Kenny gonna kick your ass. That's what's gonna
Oh
happen.
snap!
Like I said, the
Oh,
referee is a
snap.
3-man team there, man, and the referee it has to be more accountable. People they have to be held more accountable, man. If they do a bad job, they shouldn't get to referee big fights. They should get demoted, or the pocket should be hurt, or fined, because it can cause a lot of people money, and they can ruin records for boxers and opportunities. So they should be
Yeah.
held accountable.
I want to talk about Tank. I want to talk about the little Tank and Hugo Ruiz. Tank Davis
Oh,
versus
man.
Hugo Ruiz.
Oh man, what a fight!
Yeah, I'll say this. We had spoken previously before the fight, and one of the concerns that I had was, I believe Tank Davis, felt that this fight with Abner Maris was going to be his coming out party. You know what I'm saying? That was going to lead him towards bigger things. I still think he accomplished that, but I was hesitant. In believing that he was over it and that he was gonna go do what he was gonna do. I thought I was thinking that he may probably would not get as hyped as he was for the opportunity to fight Abner Maris because of his name. And seeing Ruiz in other fights, Ruiz wasn't no dude that was gonna just lay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh, he
Ruiz
came to
was
the
definitely
fight.
game. He was a game
So
fighter, especially from his last fight. He looked game.
yeah, but then when I saw the fight, it was first of all nobody's talking about that straight right hand he landed on Davis. That was a
On
beautiful
Davis,
straight right
that was
hand.
a beautiful right hand.
But the
No,
dude
that was
he
very
did-
sharp,
but,
and he
but-
was he reminded Davis that you have to stay woke. That this is a
Yeah.
fight, and
yeah.
there's no slipping.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
Ruiz's game plan was to counter him with that right. So he was waiting for Davis to come in to throw that right. That was his whole game plan. And once Davis realized that was his game plan, he shifted it away from that right hand.
Well, he got aggressive. He got aggressive. The way
aggressive.
he really cuts off the ring really well, and he makes you fight. He makes you fight. But he comes with such ferocity that some people are comparing him to like a Mike Tyson type of aggression, And when he landed, and when he landed that right hand, Ruiz was like, "I want no part of this."
And look at that. Talk about refs. Jack Reese was the referee. That was his 700 something fight that he's. What a professional. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He pulled over Hugo Ruiz and told him in Spanish, "Do you want to continue? Do you want to continue?" And Ruiz gave him the nod. I don't want to continue. And then he stopped the fight. That's what a good referee does. You
Oh, yeah, of
understand?
course.
He could have waved it off and no. Let's make sure this is going to happen. That's what a good referee does. See, so I give props to when the referee does a good job. Jack Reese, pick up to you, man. Beautiful fight, beautiful stoppage, actually.
Yeah, he read. I think there's three things that a referee reads, right? When you're deciding whether or not a fighter wants to continue. There are messages, either through body language or sometimes it's just vocal, where you get information from your fighter and try to understand, is this individual ready to continue? Yes or no? And I
Yeah.
think that sometimes the refs don't give an opportunity for that communication to happen. You don't read the fighter. You're just like, no, 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 we're not gonna do this, and you just cut them off. But if you really pay attention, like I think in this case, Hugo Ruiz was communicating quite a bit, where he
Yeah.
was, where he asked him quite literally. Jack Reese did, ¿Quieres continuar? And which
Yeah.
means, do you want to continue? And he didn't say anything. Hugo didn't say anything. In
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
what he
That's
what would
sometimes
have
that's
normally been a
enough.
nod, all right, what normally would have been a nod or a step
Yeah.
forward, it would have been an acknowledgement. It was just like looking down, and he actually did a sidestep. He was like ready to leave.
Um,
He's like, no.
gu- guys, Pete and Harlem Jones, I'm a little worried in Davis's corner because Davis is a great fighter, very humble. But I saw a mosquito nearby him that could taint the man, and that was once again Mayweather in his corner, which was a good thing to be in his corner. But I don't want him to take advice in terms of, oh, don't take this fight right now. Wait for this, wait for that. Davis is a guy that looks like he just wants to fight. He wants to fight the best to be the best. But if
Yeah.
he has someone in his corner that tells him, oh, not right now, or wait till this guy gets a little older, or wait till this boxer, it can really once again taint the sport.
The
So I hope that
moment,
I
the
hope that Davis
moment,
doesn't
will,
take that advice from Mayweather.
but this is what I'm gonna get at. The moment that, because the chance, the calls for this fight is gonna happen whether he likes it or not, and it's gonna get louder and louder, and it's gonna be compared to the fiasco with Pacquiao and Mayweather for years. For 5 years, we're waiting for that fight.
Exactly.
The fans, the media, nobody's gonna let him get away without fighting Lomachenko. Nobody's gonna get it. And then Tank is gonna feel that pressure. Tank is gonna feel that pressure, and he's gonna want to be like, I want this fight. Mayweather's gonna be like, no, and there is where the tension will begin.
Yeah,
I
because
think,
we
guys,
waited
I have
5
a
years
different angle.
for him to fight Pacquiao, and then what they gave us a bachata dance. They gave us a salsa
Yeah, a
dance.
bachata dance.
It was horrible. It was a horrible fight, man.
Yeah.
Horrible fight. So I don't want
I
that
have
to happen
high
to Davis.
optimism. I have a high optimism that the team that essentially rose, right? Like there's ring families, and then there's people that you meet along the way that become great business associates. I think that is the relationship that Mayweather now has with Gervonta Davis. But I think that Gervonta Davis has a family, right? The people who have raised him in the ring with his skill, with his fundamental skill set from the very beginning. And I think that those individuals, including his head trainer, the one who's known him, since he was 8 years old, I think is when he started, 7 or 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The one
Yeah,
who
seven-
started him
7
from
years
jump. I think that those individuals, that key team, will not let that happen. I'm guessing that. And
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of tension there.
The
There's
trio
gonna be a
that
lot
I
of tension
see,
there.
the trio that I see in this division will be Lopez, Teofimo Lopez,
Teofimo,
So we're talking the
Lomachenko,
future
Brooklyn.
now. We're talking the
From
future.
Brooklyn.
yeah,
by the way. Yeah, we're
Lomachenko
talking
and
about
Davis. Those are the top three that everyone's waiting to see if any of these are going to face each other. Those three.
Honestly, you just want to see Teofimo fight. You don't care if he's fighting Jose Fernandez. You don't care who he's fighting. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do,
He's a
because
star.
look,
Yeah, he has a
he knocked
really
these two guys out in
fan-friendly.
no time. I want someone to give him competition.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see him. They want to see this boy fight. Doesn't matter who they put him in there.
Yeah, he's just
I-
lightning.
he the guys that have been, the fight that has been brewing ever since Lomachenko called out Davis, or called out Mayweather to call out Davis to fight. The talk is gonna be for those two to fight.
I hope so.
They're not gonna fight each other because let's get
Politics.
that last
Politics.
showing from Lomachenko wasn't that great. We want to see another fight or two. Let's
Yeah,
let's 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 see them fight other guys. Raise the level of competition up a little bit. Put bigger names, not the biggest because the biggest is Davis, but some real note. Build this fight up
well,
because
they
if these
both
guys
have.
say if these guys are who they are, whom we believe them to be because of what we've seen, they will get to a point where this is the biggest fight that can be made.
Well,
Davis and Lomachenko.
they both had challenges with Josecito Peralta. Was it Peralta or Pedraza?
Pedraza.
Yeah, Pedraza knocked down Lomachenko in the last fight. Lomachenko didn't look too good. You're right, and Pedraza gave Davis a tough time too. So
Yeah.
it's funny, like the common denominator, Pedraza actually gave both of these guys some type of challenge.
But Davis stopped them.
Of course, Davis stopped him. Lomachenko went the distance. So
You
there,
know,
yeah, you can
where
see.
now where now the talk is on behalf of Davis that I have 20 wins or 21 wins.
Knocked down
Yeah, I'm a
12 in a
two-time world
row.
champion. I'm knocking dudes out. I stopped the guy that you couldn't stop, and I'm not on the Papa Pound list, and he is.
He's got a
Doesn't make
valid point.
sense.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
I
got a
mean,
valid point.
Lomachenko has had bigger fights than Davis has. He
No, I
has
wouldn't
had
say
bigger
that
fight.
they're
Remember,
bigger fights, but I will agree that he has stopped his opponents in a much more dramatic fashion. Like he
for
pulled out
no,
more tools
remember
during
no,
his fights.
Lomachenko has been the main attraction for some time. This was Davis's
It's his
first main
first.
attraction.
Yes.
So you
Right.
got to understand the level is different. Remember, Lomachenko has
It,
been the main attraction for some
what you're
time now.
seeing in Lomachenko is a sort of finesse that you haven't seen in a while,
Correct.
and
Correct.
that is why we admire his style. Is that he does all these things to make you look foolish, whereas Davis, he's just knocking dudes out. We've seen that before. It's still impressive. It's always impressive to see somebody knock another dude out consistently, But Lomachenko is beating these guys with stuff we've never seen before.
Well,
You know what I'm
Lomachenko reminds
saying?
me of another young Pacquiao, where it's
Yeah.
just jumping around like a deer, boom, boom, just
Yeah,
hitting you
yeah.
from every angle. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It's something spectacular. You're right.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
they don't see how a guy like Lomachenko can lose because of his skill set. Yeah, he had over 300 amateur bouts, but like as Mayweather said, Davis hasn't had amateur bouts like that, if any,
No.
and he's champion. You know what I'm saying? Undefeated.
Right. Right.
And knocking people out with impressive fashion.
It
So
would be interesting to see, the only real way that Davis is gonna develop those tools is to get out there and fight. And, he hasn't had the amateur experience. Okay, we're past that. However, he can have some challenges, right, with good matchmaking. He can have
yeah,
that
Yeah,
development right there in the ring. And
but
those are the
listen
kind of
here.
fights that I'm interested in seeing that will
Look
put
at
not
him
listen.
on the path.
not this Japanese
No,
Takanawa,
not no
whoever he
bump fights.
fighting.
Well,
No,
see,
no
that
bump
was set
fights.
up by the that was set up by the
That was set up by
Mayweather team.
Mayweather.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I mean for the payday,
Yeah, but you
No, no
can't be
bump
payday.
fights.
doing that, man. He's going to ruin the sport. You want to fight Japanese? Go fight Japanese. You do that. Leave Davis alone, bro. You don't understand? Like you already ruined.
Just
You already did your thing.
random
Yeah.
Japanese.
Don't ruin the next man. You want to go fight in Japan or Australia? You go ahead and do that. But
Because
leave
check this
Davis
out. This is
alone.
what's gonna happen. Davis goes out. I think it's difficult if Davis picked up an article and hears the negativity that's gonna be spewed his way if he takes this fight, if he does this fight and goes out to Japan to beat some dude up just for money.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's already there. April 1st is going to be the exhibition.
And how's he gonna feel when he starts reading that stuff?
Well, I'm
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm
one
saying?
to
It's
let him
gonna
know.
it's gonna be certainly Mayweather in his ear talking about, never mind them. You got money. He's gonna try to steer him away and tell him not to listen. But at the same time, Davis don't want to look like he ducking or dodging nobody either.
Well, come on.
Let's hope.
Who's he ducking
Let's
in
just
Japan?
hope that
Who is
he's
he
got.
ducking in Japan?
let's
He's
just
not
hope
ducking
that he
anybody in
has
Japan.
cooler heads around him that will help guide him. Because also remember, he's got the likes of Al Heyman. You know, Al Heyman is a guru in that
Yeah.
space. So these are the advisors that he has, and it's
Al
not just
Heyman's not a
Mayweather.
guru. Al Heyman is the pocket. He's the purse. Okay, he got a bigger purse, and when you got a bigger purse, you're the guru for anybody. Think
Well,
about
what I
that.
mean, what I mean is that when it comes to setting up the fights that people want, as well as developing talented careers, he's got a great reputation of doing so. That's
Well,
all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only fight that should never be set up again.
I've never heard a fighter thank Al Heyman and then thank God. Like I've never heard that about Bob Arum. I've never heard that about Oscar De La
Yeah.
Hoya. I've never heard that about Don King. Of course not. You know,
He's
but
probably
you get the idea.
Al Heyman is probably taking care of these fighters and giving them the lion's share of whatever it is. He's not raping dudes, pretty much.
Probably right.
Whatever it
Probably.
is, my point is that he's got smart people around him who, you know, and it's not just Mayweather.
Yeah.
I want to mention. I don't know if we're going to conclude now, but I want to let you know that the fight, the bum fight of the
No
year,
bum fights. We got to.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a bum.
2019.
You're a bum. You're
was
a bum.
Javier Fortuna versus Sharif Boreg or Boreg, I think.
Bogaray.
Wow, what an
Sharif
awful
Bogaray.
fight. Boreg, what an awful fight. That was just two sloppy Joes in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, straight up tuna cans.
Never,
Straight up tuna cans.
Don't give people fights like that, please. Please don't give people fights like that. People don't.
How come the refs didn't stop that fight? Those are the fights that we should get stopped, like right in the middle.
Yeah, Fortuna had the nerve after he skimmed by and made it to say, "Hey, I want to fight Lomachenko next." So if Davis, I said to myself, "How can
it's
you
suicide."
Say like after you did the WWE that you did that night. I mean, it was just wrestling. It was just holding. It was horrible. Never again. Never again, please.
That was a suicidal call. Him calling out Lomachenko. He also called out Davis. That's suicidal in either case, I think. You've got a lot more work to do. You've got a lot more finessing to do in that ring before you have the nerve to be calling out these top tier guys. I understand that you want to eat. I get that. You know, you should be out there working. It's true. But those are not the guys those guys will end you, not help your career.
Yeah. It'll be that's it. And the money got to be right if you're gonna fight those dudes. The money got to be right.
Exactly.
You can't go out there trying to prove yourself against guys like Teofimo, Davis, or Lomachenko. Those guys are on another level. They haven't been put together just yet, but they will. And most likely it won't happen this year. And most likely will be 2020 will be the year of bigger fights, bigger than the ones that we've seen now.
I've seen better fights in the playground with kids than I saw. That was a horrible fight. Horrible fight, guys. And if the ref wants to stop the ref,
I've seen better fights in kindergarten kids.
Now the ref should have definitely jumped in on that one, but no, they let that one continue. The ref should have stopped that a long time ago, but they let that one.
So I guess we can agree that Teofimo, let that dude build that dude up. Build him up. He has he's gonna be a guy like, when you went to go see a Mike Tyson fight, you went to go see somebody get knocked out.
But like with skills, with skills, like he's going in there with skills.
No, but Mike Tyson has skills. But Mike Tyson has skills too.
Yes, he does. Yes, it's true. It's true, and it's not his fault. It's not Tyson's fault that these other guys didn't bring it.
No, because we're afraid, and Teofimo is creating that aura of tonight could be my last night.
Destruction, the takeover. I call it the destruction. We're like, oh man, this is gonna hurt. It's gonna leave you a mark in the morning.
Nah. Teofimo is a guy that you want to see fight. That's it for now. The fight, I'm telling you, right now, everybody wants this fight. Yeah, I mean, I've got on YouTube and I've seen some comments that, I want to see these guys fights. The fans should get the fights. Yeah, but at the same time, these boxers got to make money. You know what I'm saying? They can't ruin. They can't. The risk for reward is not there. They can lose boxing. Fighting somebody like Teofimo, he can end your career. He's the type of dude that can end your career. You know what I'm saying?
And he's
then
still
and his
developing. Ain't that scary?
exactly. So I understand that we want to see these fights, but at the end of the day, these guys, this is what they do. This is how they eat, and they're gonna make the best decision they possibly can to put themselves in a position to be okay and their family. We just can't throw these guys together. I mean, I'll say this: the Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight was a gift. That was a gift, But look how Lomachenko made that dude look.
That was not easy. Like, I'm still shocked at that. We saw that live, and I'm still shocked at that.
Hand injury or no, he quit. He quit.
Yeah,
he quit. Yeah, no, he did. He did. He didn't want it anymore.
Nah, he didn't want it anymore. He was like, "Forget this. I ain't doing. Forget it. Forget it."
That was crazy.
I know one thing I don't want to see is that Fortuna fight. But yeah. Other than that, gentlemen,
the tuna can.
No bum fights, please.
No bum fights. No bum fight. That's the segment. No bum fight.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure we're looking forward to the Amir Khan, Crawford fight, the Spence Jr. versus Garcia fight. That's next, right? Isn't that next?
Yeah, I just want one last thing to say about Amir Khan. How can Amir Khan dodge Kell Brooks for so many years and then pick out Canelo, get his ass knocked out, put to sleep, and now he's going to pick up Crawford instead of going for Kell Brooks?
But you know what? You got to admire that. You know why? He's fighting fights that nobody sees him winning. He could win them.
See him winning with Kell Brooks.
He could win them. He could win. Could he have beaten Canelo? Amir Khan doesn't know how to. He's not very calculating in there. He tries to think that he thinks that he can knock these dudes out. Like, nah, dude, box. Keep on boxing.
Has to box. He was outboxing Canelo, but he went in there for a knockout, got his ass knocked out. And Crawford is the same thing. Why don't you just chill out with Kell Brooks? Kell Brooks' eyes messed up at this point because he fought Triple G. Fight Kell Brooks, man. Everybody wants to see that fight. Don't dodge Kell Brooks and then go for Crawford.
I think it makes a bigger statement if he beats Crawford.
Oh man, he couldn't, man. Crawford wants this
Jones.
Talk to me.
If Khan beats Crawford, where does that put Amir Khan?
Oh, forget it. He's back on the map.
Yeah,
he's gonna become the new Can Man. Anybody can get it. Everybody's gonna want a piece of King Khan.
That's gonna rejuvenate his career.
Crawford has been known to adjust. By the fifth, sixth round, he got your game plan. He adjusted accordingly.
When you're fighting on a guy that can switch from a righty to a lefty like that,
and hit just as hard,
that's like fighting two guys.
Amir Khan never had knockout power. Please. Okay, he never had that. He can get in your face.
Not at 147.
He doesn't.
Early in his career, he could. Early in his career, he could. But as he started fighting these bigger dudes, he doesn't have it. He has the speed, no doubt.
No, he can be another Mayweather. He can outbox you if he stays with the game plan, but he's not going to knock you out.
But he be trying.
He be trying, all right. And the canvas gets a visit afterwards. When he gets the canvas, he wakes up. Yeah. But anyway, so that's it, gentlemen. It's been great talking to you guys.
It's always a pleasure, guys. Thank you for listening. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear about what fights you have on your minds, what you thought about our discussion. Please chime in. We always welcome your comments. We want to hear from you.
No bum fights for 219.
That's
no bum fights ever, baby. No bum fights.